15% of your students have dyslexia. Now, you might think dyslexia is just about reading difficulties, but there is a lot more to it. In fact, dyslexic students have unique strengths that can reshape the way we approach language learning. So let's get into it. Dyslexia is often misunderstood as just a reading or spelling issue, but it's actually a neurological condition that affects how the brain processes any information it receives, so also language. What's fascinating is that the human brain isn't naturally wired for reading. Instead, it's made to recognize objects in 3 dimensions, or 3D. And this 3D thinking is a key feature of how dyslexic individuals think. Imagine this. I show you a car from the left side. You'll recognize it as a car. Now flip it around. Still a car. From the top, same thing. Our brains are wired to recognize objects, no matter the angle. This is 3D thinking. And dyslexic brains are particularly strong in this area. They are wired for 3D thinking, which gives these students an edge in fields like architecture, design, and art. But it also brings some challenges when it comes to reading. When a dyslexic student looks at a letter like B, D, P, or Q, their brain's natural ability to see things in 3D can create confusion. Turning the letter B around suddenly changes it into a D, or flip it around, and all of a sudden it's a P or a Q. For these students, distinguishing between similar-looking letters can be tricky. This is why dyslexic students might struggle with written text. But it's not a flaw, it's just how their brain processes visual information. Luckily, there are simple ways to support them, like choosing dyslexia-friendly fonts and adjusting font sizes and spacing, or using colored overlays. Now let's talk about the incredible strengths of dyslexic individuals. Did you know that some of the world's most creative and innovative thinkers were and are dyslexic? Take Leonardo da Vinci, for example. His brilliant mind excelled at visualizing complex designs. Or Richard Branson, the founder of the Virgin Group, who's known for thinking outside of the box. And then there's Tommy Hilfiger, whose 3D thinking has changed the world of fashion. So, what does this mean for us as language teachers? It means that we can use this 3D thinking ability in our classroom by using more visual aids, hands-on activities, and spatial learning techniques. We can create a more inclusive environment for our dyslexic students. For example, using images, mind maps, or physical objects can help bridge the gap between their strengths and the challenges of reading and writing. In conclusion, dyslexia isn't a challenge to overcome. It's a unique cognitive profile with incredible strengths, especially in 3D thinking. As language teachers, it is our job to recognize these strengths and adapt our teaching to help all students succeed. And by doing this, we create a classroom where every student, dyslexic or not, can thrive. If you want to know more about dyslexia and language learning, about how to recognize dyslexia in your students and teach them effectively, like and subscribe to my channel. But most importantly, visit my website. Here you will find free resources as well as all the information you need about my teacher training programs in dyslexia and ADHD. Long live the dyslexic brain.